Hello everyone. Namaskar. I hope you all doing well. My name is Hema Sharma and today I'm come with the topic 21 CFR part 11. As we in current scenario of our pharmaceutical industries when we are going to business in US, the role of the CFR is very important. So let's see what is the CFR. The Code of Federal Regulation CFR is a codification of the journal and permanent rule published in Federal Register by the Executive Department and agencies of the federal government. It is divided into 50 titles that represent broad areas subjected to federal regulation. The 50 titles are General Provisions, Grants and Agreements, the President, Accounts, Administrative Person, Domestic Security, Agriculture, Alliance and Nationality, Animal and Animal Products, Energy, Federal Electrons, Bank and Banking, Business Credit and Assistance, Aeronautics and Space, Commerce and Foreign Trades, Commercial Practice, Community and Security Exchange, Conservation of Power and Water Resource, Custom Duties, Employees Benefits, Food and Drugs, Foreign Relation, Highways, Housing and Urban Development, Indians, Internal Revenue, Alcohol, Tobacco Product and Firearms, Justical Administration, Labor, Mineral Resource, Money and Finance, National Defense, Navigation and Navigable Waters, Education, Reserve, Park, Forest and Public Property, Patent, Trademark and Copyrights, Pension, Bonus and Veterans Reliefs, Postal Service, Protection of Environment, Public Contract and Property Management, Public Health, Public Land, Emergency Management Assistant, Public Welfare, Shipping, Telecommunication, Federal Acquisition, Regulation System, Transportation, Wildlife and Fisheries. So these are the 50 titles of CFR. What is 21 CFR? The title 21 CFR is related to food and drugs. Title 21 is the portion of the code of the federal regulation that govern food and drug within the United States for the Food and Drug Administration, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Office of National Drug Control Policies. It is divided into three chapters. Chapter 1, Food and Drug Administration. Chapter 2, Drug Enforcement Administration. Chapter 3, Office of National Drug Control Policies. In USA, the production of drug regulated by Food and Drug Administration. This US GMP regulation is divided into the two parts of the Title 21. Title 21, Part 210 and Part 211. The two important parts of the Title 21, 210, current good manufacturing practice in manufacturing, processing, packing or holding of drug general. 211, current good manufacturing practice for finished pharmaceuticals. What is 21 CFR Part 11? We can see from the site also of US FDA. Title 21, there is the different parts and the 11th one is electronic record and electronic signature. 21 CFR Part 11, there is a very beautiful guideline available in the site for the electronic record, electronic signature, scope and application. This guideline helps us to understand the Part 11 requirement and application also. Applicable scope. US-based and internationally licensed companies that are marketed its product in the United States or supports any domestic or internationally licensed companies that markets or is planning to market its product in the United States. Part 11 apply to record an electronic form that are created, modified, maintained, archived, retrieved or transmitted under any records requirements set forth in agency regulations. Part 11 also apply to electronic records submitted to the agency under the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Acts and the Public Health Service Act. Predicates rule. In the guideline, we can see many times the word predicates. Let's see what is the predicates rules. Predicates rules are the requirements that are already within the FDA's scope of regulation when 21 CFR Part 11 went into effect. Predicates rules 21 CFR 211 current good manufacturing practice for finished pharmaceuticals. 21 CFR 820 quality system regulation medical device GMP. 21 CFR 600 biological product journal. 21 CFR 606 current good manufacturing practice for blood and blood components. 21 CFR 50 protection of human subjects. 21 CFR 58 good laboratory practice for non-clinical laboratory studies. 21 CFR 1271 human cells, tissues and cellular and tissue based product. The predicate rule are the same whether manual or automated, paper or electronic. For example, if the predicate rule requires second person verification and you perform the function electronically, then your system must accumulate second person verification. Or if the predicate rule requires 5-year record retention and you keep the record electronically, the retention rule apply to your computer system's records. 21 CFR 211.150 distribution procedures. Written procedures shall be established and followed describing the distribution of drug products. They shall include A procedure whereby the oldest approved stock of the drug product is distributed first. Deviation from this requirement is permitted if such deviation is temporary and appropriate. B, a system by which the distribution of each lot of the drug product can be readily determined to facilitate its recall if necessary. FD clarification on electronic records. Let's see. Record that are required to be maintained under the predicates rule requirement and that are maintained in electronic format in place of paper format. Records that are required to be maintained under the predicate rule that are maintained in electronic format in addition to paper format and that are read on the perform regulated activity. Records that are not required to be retained under predicates rule but that are nonetheless maintained in electronic format are not part 11 record. FD clarification electronic signature. Electronic signature that are intended to be the equivalent of the handwritten signature, initials or other general signing required by the predicates rules. Part 11 signature include electronic signature that are used, for example, to document the fact that certain event or action occurred in accordance with the predicates rule, example, approved, reviewed or verified. Signature that are not required to be retained under the predicate rule, but that are nonetheless maintained in electronic format are not part 11 signature. FD clarification electronic submission. Part 11 apply to records submitted to FDA under predicate rule in electronic format. A record that is not itself submitted but its use in generating a submission is not part 11 record unless it is otherwise required to be maintained under predicate rule and is maintained in electronic format. Part 11 does not apply to the paper record that are or have been transmitted by the electronic means. Now see 21 CFR part 11 in our site of US FDA. This is under chapter 1 Food and Drug Administration and there is the 3 parts, subpart A, B and C. Subpart A, general provision, scope, implementation and definition. This is the number of that. Subpart B, electronic record, control of closed system, control of open system, signature manifestation, signature or record linking. Subpart C, electronic signature, journal requirement, electronic signature component and control, control of identification, codes and password. So, by this, we can compliance our system by 21 CFR part 11. Let's see some definitions. Biometrics means a method of verifying an individual identity based upon measurement of the individual physical features or repeatable action where those feature and or action are both unique to the individual and measurable. Closed system. Closed system means an environment in which system access to control by the person who are responsible for the content of electronic record that are on the system. For example, if we have the server to store our electronic data, so we are under closed system. Now open system means an environment in which system access is not controlled by a person who are responsible for the content of electronic record that are on the system. Like if we had the third party for the cloud system and we store our all the electronic data that cloud system and we have no control on that given electronic data, this means we are in open system. Now, digital signature means an electronic signature based upon cryptographic method of the originator authentication computed by using a set of rule and a set of parameters such that the identity of the signer and the integrity of the data can be verified. Electronic signature means a computer data compilation of any symbol or a series of symbols executed, adopted, or authorized by an individual to be the legally binding equivalent to the individual handwritten signature. Handwritten signature means the descriptive name or legal mark of an individual handwritten by that individual and executed or adopted with the present intention to authentication a writing in a permanent form. The act of signing with a writing or marking instrument such as a pen or styles is preserved. The descriptive name or legal mark, while conventionally applied to paper, may also be applied to other devices that capture the name and mark. Now, electronic record. Let's come to the closed system. Validation of system to ensure accuracy, reliability, consistent, independent performance, and the ability to discard invalid or altered records. The ability to generate accurate and complete copies of record in both human readable and electronic form suitable for inspection, review, and copying by the agency. Person should contact the agency if there are any question regarding the ability of the agency to perform such review and copying of the electronic records. Protection of record to enable their accurate and ready retrieval throughout the record's retention period. Limiting system access to authorized individuals. Use of secure computer generated time-stamped audit trail to independently record the date and time of operators entries and action that create, modify or delete electronic records. Record changes shall not obscure previously recorded information. Such audit trail documentation shall be retained for a period at least as long as that required for the subject electronic records and shall be available for agency review and copying. Use of operational system check to enforce permitted sequencing of step and event as an appropriate. Use of authority check to ensure that only authorized individual can use the system electronically, sign a record, assess the operation or computer system input or output device, alter a record or perform the operation at hand. Use of device check to determine as appropriate the validity of the source of data input or operational instruction. Determination that person who develop, maintain or use electronic record, electronic signature system have the education, training and experience to perform their assigning task. The establishment of and adhere to written policies that hold individual accountable and responsible for the action initiated under their electronic signature in order to deter record and signature falsification. Use of appropriate control over system documentation including adequate control over the distribution of access to and use of documentation for the system operation and maintenance, revision and change control procedure to maintain an audit trail that documents time sequence development and modification of the system documentation. Control of open system. Person who use open system to create, modify, maintain or transmit electronic records shall employ procedure and control designed to ensure the authenticity, integrity and as appropriate the confidentiality of electronic record from the point of their creation to the point of their receipt. Such procedure and control shall include those identified in 11.10, that is the closed system, as appropriate, and additionally measures such as document encryption and use of appropriate digital signature standard to ensure as necessary under the circumstances record authenticity, integrity and confidently. Now come to the signature manifestation. Signed electronic record shall contain information associated with the signing that clearly indicate all the following: the printed name of the signer, the date and time when the signer was executed, and the meaning such as review, approval, responsibility or authorship associated with the signature. The item identified in 1, 2 and 3 of this section shall be subjected to the same control as the electronic record and shall be included as part of any human readable form of the electronic record, such as electronic display or printouts. General requirements. Each electronic signature shall be unique to one individual and shall not be reused by or reassigning to anyone else. Before an organization established, assigning, certified or otherwise sanctioned an individual electronic signature or any element of such electronic signature, the organization shall verify the identity of the individual. Person using the electronic signature shall prior to or at the time of such use certify to the agency that the electronic signature in their system used on or after August 20, 1997 are intended to be the legally binding equivalent to traditional handwritten signature. This is the applicability of the Part 11 by USFDA. This date is applicable date of Part 11. The certification shall be submitted in paper form and assigned with the traditional handwritten signature to the office also. This is from the guideline as such. Person using electronic signature shall upon agency request provide additional certification or testimony that a specific electronic signature is the legally binding equivalent of the signer's handwritten signature. Now, component and control. Electronic signature that are not based upon the biometric cell employ at least two distinct identification components, such as an identification code and password. When an individual executes a series of signing during a single continuous period of control system access, the first signing shall be executed using all the electronic signature components. Subsequent signing shall be executed using at least one electronic signature component that is only executed by and designed to be used only by the individual. When an individual executes one or more signing not performed during a single continuous period of control system access, such signing shall be executed using all of the electronic signature component. Be used only by their genuine owner and be administrated and executed to ensure that attempt use of an individual electronic signature by anyone other than its genuine owner require collaboration of two or more individuals. Electronic signature based upon biometrics shall be designed to ensure that they cannot be used by anyone other than their genuine owner. Now, control for identification code and password. Person who use electronic signature based upon use identification code in combination with the password shall employ control to ensure their security and integrity. Such control shall include maintaining the uniqueness of each combined identification code and password such that no two individuals have the same combination of identification code and password. Ensuring that identification code and password assurance are periodically checked, recalled, or revised. Example to cover such event as password aging. Following loss management procedure to electronically reauthorize lost, stolen, missing, or otherwise potentially compromised token, card, and other device that bear or generated identification code or password information, and to issue temporary or permanent replacement using suitable rigorous control. use of transaction safeguard, prevent authorized use of password and or identification codes, and to detect and report in an immediate and urgent manner by attempts at their unauthorized use to the system security unit and as appropriate or to organization management. Initial and periodic testing of the device, such as token or the card that bear or generate identification code or password information to ensure that they function properly and have not been altered in an unauthorized manner. So this is all about the 21 CFR part 11. Let's see other related guidelines. PICS, guides to good manufacturing practice for medical products, computerized system part. WHO Expert Committee on Specification Pharmaceutical Preparation 1025 electronic system. And UDRLX Volume 4 Good Manufacturing Practice Guideline, Annexure 11 Computerized System. So these guidelines also can help us to understand all the requirements related to electronic record, electronic data, electronic signature. Now, this is the quiz time. Let's come. Part 11 is the part of 21 CFR that deals with the electronic record or electronic signature. A, true, B, false. What is the answer? Yes, answer A. Second, validation should include application specific function as well as a function related to the part 11 electronic audit trail and dash. A, electronic submission, B, electronic signature. So what is the answer? Yes, answer is B. Next, each electronic signature shall be unique to one individual and shall be reused by or reassigned to anyone else. A, true, B, false. What is the answer? Yes, answer is B. Audit trail record need to include A, date and time, B, operator name, C, both A and B. So what is the answer? Yes, right. Answer is C. Next, additional measure to be considered for the open system include with of the following. A, biometric, B, document encryption, C, electronic signature, D. There are no additional measure to be controlled. So what is the answer? Yes, answer is B. Now, this is all about the 21 CFR part 11. Thank you. I hope you like this. Thanks again. If there is any question, any discussion and any explanation of any part of 21 CFR part 11, you can write me on my mail ID. Till then, take care, be happy. Goodbye. Take care.